Good evening, everyone. Welcome to ULTV Student Diaries. I'm Shefali Srivastava, Marketing and Communication Manager at University Living. This video is for you if you are considering studying interior designing in the UK. There's a common misconception that interior designing is just limited to the home renovation and residential designs, which is not true. So we are going to bust this myth for you guys. And we are joined by Abhijeet Sharma, a student at Sheffield Hallam University, who's pursuing masters in interior designing over there. Welcome, Abhijeet. Thank you for joining us here.
Hi, Shefali. I'm all good. How are you?
Thank you so much. And I'm good. Thank you again. So let's start. I know there's a lot of work going on, and I do not want you to just mingle around here and there on the topic. And I know our viewers will be very much interested in knowing that how interior designing is very different, especially in parents' mind. If we talk about someone who's not aware about these new age courses, if they hear interior designing, they only think it's okay, it's about house renovations, it's about decoration and all that. But there is a lot more behind the scenes. So if you can share the information on that.
Yeah. So when it comes to interior design, it's not just about creating an interior space for all the commercial and residential apartments, but it comes to like psychology, it comes to like nature elements, it comes to like the client, how they are actually involved, how they design, how they need their own personal spaces in their own house. Because not everyone is willing to get the modular and ready-made furnitures in their house. But interior is all about your own space, what you like from your childhood and what are your choices. This is how it comes to interior design when we design any single thing for any single space. It's not only about the residential and commercial architecture and interior design, but it comes to actually making a space viable for any kind of species. I'm talking about not only human beings, but even about the animals, even about the plants, even about the human beings, how they are collaborated with each other and how they live in one space, how families can be connected, how different guests can be connected with the family members. This is how with the psychology, with all such aspects, we design the interior spaces for all kind of spaces.
Right. So you actually get into the psyche of the client to understand what exactly they want, how they want to feel, and interpret the whole space. It's a very interesting point that you mentioned, and I'm gonna come back to this. But before we do so, how has been your journey so far at Sheffield and at the university?
So my journey, Sheffield Hallam was one of the best choices I ever made in my life, to be frank. So I joined in last September 21 in tech. My course is of 16 months, which will end in next 4 months. So it was quite tough to imagine for me as a small town boy in big arcade in a big city in big country. So when I came to Sheffield, Sheffield was totally kind of unknown place for me, but it took hardly like few weeks for me to get involved in every kind of activity. As a designer, as an artist, we actually need to involve in every kind of thing. If we are not involving in anything, if we are not interacting with any kind of spaces, any kind of people, so we are actually failing as an artist and a designer to interact and collaborate with all such kind of things. So when I came to Sheffield, and especially to Sheffield Hallam University, my university building is like just like 5-10 minutes by walk distance from my accommodation. So it was like a small and very short journey for me. So I used to go by, by a long distance walk to my university building so that I can actually see other spaces. So every time my route was kind of different every single day. So talking with the new people, involving with different cultures and different nationalities of people. So it was quite an interesting journey, and I get to know about the kind of food they eat, the kind of lifestyle they have, and what kind of spaces they actually enjoy. And for me, it's like I was actually seeing the metro city like first time, where I will be living for like 3 and 4 years simultaneously. So for me, it was like very different and very difficult in the first, like I guess for like 2-3 weeks. But then I actually managed to get involved with everyone, my flatmates, my friends, my colleagues, where I started then part-time jobs as well. So 1 year was like like a very fast pace of my life. So 1 year was like a
Roller coaster.
like first 5 hours of power play in the cricket match. This kind of it happened for like me. uh, just 1 year of studies happened, and I'm like, oh god, I just came like yesterday, I just came like few days back.
So yeah, so 1 year has been like a power play. It makes sense. And
Yeah,
actually, studying abroad is actually the whole thing about the experience, which you mentioned that initially you were very much
yeah,
overwhelmed because you migrated to a new country and you have been first time in a metro place, a metro city. So of course, overwhelming is is a feeling that will definitely come. But you overcame that. You started interacting with people. You started visiting, nearby surrounding and all that. So that really does help. Correct.
yes. Yeah, actually, so when I came here, my only way to connect with someone is my family and with the video calls on my mobile phone. So my phone calls were like around 10 times a day to my family members, different family members, because you have like large joint family, then you have like lot of relatives, your all cousins are connected, Then I went for like few weeks like this. Then after every time they used to call me on video call or sometimes I used to tell them like, oh no, just call me after some time. I'm at train station, I'm at garden, I'm with my friends, I'm at bar or somewhere. So this is how I went. This is how I actually experienced here.
So yeah, I'm gonna ask this question because I know that a lot of students go through this phase. How did you break that ice around yourself? How did you interact it? Why, what makes you take that first step towards them? How easy was it to connect
Yeah.
with these new people?
Yeah, connecting with people was like a bit hard for me. So I'll actually share you the trick which my faculty share with me how to interact with other people.
Definitely, yeah.
So for the interior designing field, for architecture, for any kind of design field, so we all design students do research together, but we have like different workshops. So suppose we have like fashion design, interior design, graphic design, we all sit together for the research part, but we all then distributed to, fashion studio, then workshops, different wood workshops, then metal workshops. So this kind of approach we have in the college. When I came here, so the first thing every designer, every artist have to do is interact with the other designers and other artists' minds, not with the artist, the personality, but with what they think. So what kind of thinking you are interacting with. So I started interacting with people, but it was quite hard for me. Then my faculty said, Abhijeet, you have to keep an approach. So every single day you will come here. So you have to interact with 5 new people here or some other places. So 5 people I started with my flatmates, my batchmates. So this is how I started. Then when I started my part-time job, I interacted with other people. So 5 people was like my everyday target. So 5 day, 5 people every day. So it went like I'll talk to them regarding, oh, excuse me, can I just know the time? What's the time right now? This is how can I start. I can start by asking the time of train. I can start asking by where can I get the nearby MacD or Subway here. So this is how I used to start with the conversation, even if it went wrong or right, whatever. But it was like a start of conversation. I started interacting with them, and it quite went well. So like if you actually say like after 1 year, I am the kind of most known personality in my workplace and in my batch.
That's great. That's great. So it's always start with a small step that you take. What's the time around? It's a very small sentence, but it does help you in getting interacting with new people. Right. And in fact, I think if I'm gonna talk more about the way you guys are studying over there interior designing, I think I'm gonna open a Pandora box. But because we have a
Yes.
limited time, so we'll move further and we'll definitely come back to this question that how you interact with the designer's mind, but not the person. But moving
Yeah.
forward to the segment, in order to pursue this course, as you mentioned that you're coming from a different city in India, what were the funding options that you took? How did you manage? How did you fund your own, study abroad journey?
Yeah, so for me it was like I'm graduated from my own city, so till my graduation I never moved to any other city, so except just 6 months of training. So my schooling, my graduation, then my junior college, everything happened in my own city. So I was like quite aware of that situation, that anything can happen if I'm going abroad or in any other metro city. So I was like not even going step by step, but I actually took like a big jump to abroad from a small town. When it came to funding was quite a bit hard part for me, to be frank. But actually it's like a kickstarter for your career when you choose like abroad countries as your career start. when it came to funding was a huge and kind of biggest milestone for every student who is coming abroad. Funding was very tough part for me. So how I managed it is, I started with looking for some offer letter first, because the offer letter is like the first step of the loan process. So anyway, loan was the initial step for me, and I was pretty aware of it, that my family may or may not support me with the financial things, but I was actually aware that if I want to do it, I'll do it anyway. So I actually started looking for like, if I'm taking the loan, student loan, so is like I'm safe or not. So shall I cover the loan or not? Or will I be able to repay the amount with the studying itself or with the job itself, or will I save the money as well? So this is how I calculated every single thing about UK and other countries as well. So UK was quite budget friendly. Plus, again, you can start the saving money from the study onwards. So even in the first month when I got my part-time job, I started saving money, and I'm like, quite, when you are coming from middle class family, you're actually aware about the home budget. You are aware about your pocket money is your someone else's pocket money in the home itself. You know how much someone is earning and how someone can manage. So this is how I started. So managing was like very easy part for me, because I actually did it very well. But when it came to part-time job was a bit hard to manage. So when I started looking for like, okay, I will cover some expenses in my part-time job, so this is how I can manage and fund my studies afterwards. So this is how I took the education loan. So this was like the hardest step for me to get the education loan. But to be frank, when you take the education loan first, everything is sorted. Like, then you are going to abroad, then you are getting part-time job, then full-time job, and you have like lot of money after that, and you can actually, your life is like actually sorted for like next 10 years if you just sanction your loan or anything. So even if you come like without loan here, it's fine. Even if you come here with loan, so yeah, actually like more proud, feel more proud when
Because you're
actually
funding
someone is
yourself.
funded by their own families.
Right, right. And was the process easy or was it really difficult? A lot of channels were to go through.
Yeah, so the process is quite easy for loans, because I came in the COVID period in September 21 when COVID was going on. Every single thing of my abroad career, including from admission, application, all the document process, all the loan process, all then visa, passport, and every single thing was happened online. Just for the passport, I had to give one visit to the nearest centers, but every single thing happened online. For visa, I have to go to the VFS office center. Everything was online, so it was quite easy for me. The thing is, if you get stuck, if you have like lack of documents, if you have like lack of that compatibility with the procedure of loans or something. So if you are like actually compatible, and if you are like very fluent with the loan process, you have everything with what they want, so you are like actually your process will go very fluent. So loan process was a bit tough for me, but I actually managed it in my own way. So like my family was really happy, and they actually shocked, like, how you did this process, we actually don't know. I said, even I don't know, but I just tried, and it worked.
So the family had a hidden agenda. So just in case if Abhijeet is unable to get the loan, he'll still stay with us and near us and all that. I get it. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, of course, there is an eligibility criteria. You did all things well, and I'm pretty sure you did pretty well at your academics. So, what is the eligibility criteria for a master's in interior designing? Can anyone with a who doesn't have a background in or bachelor's in interior designing, can they also pursue the course?
Yeah, so the first part I'll tell you about the eligibility criteria. So the basic eligibility criteria you need is 10 plus 2 or 10 plus 3. Actually, you come by 10 and 12th, or just 10th and diploma. So after that, you have to do graduation in whatever field you want to do. So the main part is anyone who is not even done interior design is also eligible for this interior design career. But let me tell you frankly, you can go through very tough process if you don't belong to interior design field before. So I belong to architecture field. I did architecture bachelor's in India. So my career was for like 5 years. So 5 years we actually are like architecture is field is like bit more tough than interior design field. So we have a lot of tough rules and regulation. If you Google it, so architecture you'll get like the second most toughest career in the world. So you can imagine how I passed through that career for like next 5 years. So before coming here, because architecture is like one step ahead of interior design, but interior design is kind of specialty in looking for the client's exact requirement, what you want. Architecture is like looking for what a house wants. So this is how it works. So for interior designing qualification and eligibility, for me it was easy. If you belong to like architecture background, it's quite easy for you. But if you belong to like different field before, so like suppose you have done some kind of, suppose BSc you have done, Bachelor of Science, and if you want to come to interior design, so you need a portfolio for that. Like you have worked under an interior designer, you have actually passionately followed that thing. So they will accept that thing on the basis of the portfolio weightage. When it comes to eligibility for the Sheffield Hallam University for MA Interior Design, so 75% weightage is just for the portfolio. For other fields, it's like marks, their grades, CGPA, then their backlogs, then whatever they have recorded in their whole, journey in their life. But for interior designers, for design fields mostly, so for interior designer, it was just for 75% will be portfolio. Even if you have less marks, so I actually had backlog in one semester in my college because I had like sick leaves in that period. But they actually accepted that very well, because they asked me what happened with you. So I told them like I just had like backlogs, otherwise you can check all my scores. So they accepted that thing. Then 75% portfolio, they can ask for interview as well, but mostly in Sheffield Hallam they don't really ask for interviews. If you are like belonging to different fields before, so they may ask you for the interviews. Interviews are quite short. They will ask you for whatever you have done and how was your experience, and what to design and how much you have worked before. So eligibility goes to 75% for portfolio. Then remaining 25% will include all your grades, all your semester mark sheets, your letter of recommendations, your SOP, then whatever you have done except your fields. Like you have done any kind of social service, you are belonging to any kind of Olympic or athletics or any sports events, you have done any kind of achievements in some other fields, like you have playing chess, you are playing badminton, you are playing some any kind of sports you are playing. So all the other achievements, all other kind of criteria will go to just 25%. 75% is portfolio. So even if you don't belong to interior design, it's quite easy for you to get into interior design masters. But for architecture and previous interior design done students, it's quite easy to enter in Sheffield Hallam University.
So the basics will be more clear to understand if you come from a designing background, if you come from an architect background or interior designing itself, correct? Or a fashion designing, or fine arts also, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the major game changer is the portfolio. So you need to have a
Yeah.
great portfolio which holds 75%.
Yeah. Even if you belong to like actual field interior design bachelor's, and if you don't have a portfolio, so you will definitely fail to get enter into a master's in interior design. You need to have a portfolio.
Right, right. Now, what does this course actually entails? What does it cover? What is the career post? You complete a master after 4 months, your course will be done. So what's are your plan? What is your plan, and what is the plan of anyone who's pursuing masters in interior designing post the course is completed?
Yeah. So first of all, I'll tell you what are the course contents and requirements they actually include in that. So for the course, they actually masters is all about research here. So in India, if you go for masters, you have to do the research plus you can get any kind of practical experience or anything. But the thing is, in India, the masters is for like 2 years. Here we have spent like 1 year for masters, purely research. So you are actually very trained for how to do a research and how to invent something. So that's the most important part, which I never learned back in India. In India, I was like creating something, but here is like inventing something, which is like a major difference between them. So it started with like doing the research methods, learning about them, how to do the research. Then it came to like how to imagine something which is 100 years ahead and 100 years ago. So if we are designing something which is like 100 years ahead, so we're actually thinking about the future of design. So this is how it started. Then we came to some practical solution over it, like, oh, okay, so this is like 100-year ahead solution, can we use it today? Can we implement it like after 5 years, after 10 years? So it went quite interesting for that. When it come to like 1 year journey, so 1 year journey was like quite useful for me, because I learned here the best thing I learned here, like how to invent, how to relate two different things and make something which is like a collab with it and creating something new. So this is what I learned here. And for like 1 year experience it was quite good, but like next 4 months are like quite tough for me because it's like a dissertation month. So dissertation will be a quite tough for me. The study part is easy as compared to India. So for all those who are thinking like abroad career, it is tough in UK. So to be frank, UK study is quite easy as compared to India because you are not pressurized here. You have like good work-life balance. You can actually work and do part-time jobs. You can actually manage your all the things here on your room, like managing your own stuff, manage your food. Then you can actually study. You can do the research part as well. You can hang out with friends as well. After this degree, my plan is to go for a firm, but mostly what I was planning to do is basically belonging to a business kind of family. So I'm imagining myself to do the business oriented interior design rather than something kind of inventive interior design. So which is I already learned. So I will keep doing those inventions, but what I want to do is I want to grow the business of interior design like someone who never had done before. So when I will go to the business part of thing, so not only the firm which I will consider, but I will go to home makeover showrooms which are like IKEA or something. So I will join those showrooms as well for like 6 months, how they do the makeover, which we take like 2-3 months and 4 months to do. They just do in like 2 days and 3 days. So how they are managing, how they are taking over all the future of the interior design business. So this is what I am planning to do. So making it not even with the manual furniture kind of thing, but making it with kind of 3D printers and artificial intelligence and whatever I can do and I can modify with the futuristic things. This is all I'm thinking about, every single thing with what they taught me in the last 1 year.
Great, great. You mentioned pretty well that it's not just about creating something, it's actually about the innovation and the research part that goes a lot. And
Yeah,
we
it's
wish you
purely
all the,
research.
yeah, and wish you all the luck that you can definitely go ahead and explore that business aspect also of the interior designing, and with that. Now moving forward from here, you've already answered this question actually partially. How in what ways, if I ask, Sheffield Hallam University has helped you in grow as a person?
Sheffield Hallam University for me as a person was quite, they have actually focused towards every single student. So it's not about like you are like ignored in the class where your parents used to say in back in India, like sit on the first bench, don't sit in the last bench, don't be a backbencher. And we always were the backbenchers of the class. But Sheffield Hallam is actually not like that. You're like actually focused, you get daily emails, you get the updates. Then there are like the best part I found here in the UK, all over the UK, and mostly Sheffield Hallam is they have events every week. So every week we get the event notifications that you have 3 events this week, then you have like 5 events next week, like you have like 10 plus events next week. There are like 2-3 events in a day. So the best thing they consider about the mental health of the students. So every time they have like anonymous sessions, then like you don't have to reveal your names and identity. You can talk to them freely that you are in a depression, you cannot give the assignment. So they actually consider your mental health and mental well-being. As a person, they help you very hard to achieve what you actually want. It's not like what actually they want you to study, but they actually want you to discover and invent something rather than they can actually force you to make something new. So as an artist, the best part anyone can give to an artist and a designer is freedom to do anything. So even if I'll say like, okay, so if I can say to my faculty that okay, this is not an interesting process for me, so it's like totally fine for them. They'll create something new, they'll ask me how I would like to study. So they'll actually teach me in that way personally. So we actually need to consider from a tutor to the whole university, we consider every single thing, and they consider us as a student every single way. In the student hubs where like it's just run by the students. Then it comes to library, they have like 24/7 library, so where you can study, where you have like lot of books which will like never ending books. Then you have like online learning sources, and again you have like events. So even if you have like miss or bunk some classes, you can go to the events and you will enjoy that more as a learning part of process rather than just going to classes. So even if like we used to ask sometimes to our faculties like, okay, so the classes are class will end at 2 o'clock, but at 1:30 we have a event which we are going to study. It's about, suppose, like bamboo project. It's about the wooden carpentry project. They are making something new. Some new artists are in the town, so they actually used to collaborate with us. Okay, let's go together. We'll take all the students and we'll go and visit the places, rather than just only you will go as a selfish student, which
Right.
you don't want others to study. I said, no, we want all to study. So this is how we used to collaborate with like all the groups and all the faculty. So they used to join us. So it's like for the university and the student, the relation is like quite close. You are like connected with the multiple, threads. But it's not just about like you are here to study and just go back after in your hometown. It's about like you are the part of that university for the long period, not just for like short period and you forget the university. Like you'll be the part of that university and like the big circle.
So it's the holistic development that we are talking about. And I really, really like the line that you mentioned. And I'll take this throughout the show, that Sheffield Hallam University has no bank benches over there. So yeah, and any university
Yeah,
abroad, I'll say. So yeah, there is no backbencher. I think backbencher concept mostly prevails in India or Asian, countries.
yeah.
Right, right. Now you mentioned there are a lot of events and clubs and activities keep on going at the university. So if you can just tell us what kind of social gatherings are organized, not just with the respect to the interior designing, but for any student who is joining the university.
For any kind of social gatherings, like you have like sports events, you have like Indian Indian gatherings, Indian festivals are celebrated here. You have like ramp walks, you have like fashion shows. Then again, you have like some artists and designers will come to exhibit their own projects and own their work, whatever they have done in last 1 year, 2 years, and 10 years. Then someone in the corner of the city is inventing something who will actually come to exhibition to exhibit his own things. So even if you are like introvert, you can exhibit your own things without any hesitation, just by asking your tutor, and tutor will help you in the every single way. Then again, it comes to event like they have like free pizza giving, then you have like freebies, and they have like party events. Then it will come to like they ask for us to join their Instagram communities, so all the Instagram community will get to know about all the events which are happening in the all over the city. So the campus is not an enclosed campus like whatever happens in India. It's like a campus placed throughout the city. So when it comes to Sheffield Hallam University is having two campuses. So I am in the main city campus, and another one is collegiate campus. So the whole city is like, what I should say is like most prime areas covered with the university buildings. So even if you like just go for like 2 minutes walk, you have another building. Then you have like 5 minutes walk, again you have another building. So we actually explore like building to building. So every building is having some kind of events going on. You'll hear some kind of crowd noise. Then you'll hear some kind of rallies which are going outside the building, which are like they're actually asking for, there was some LGBT event which happened back in last month. So this is what it goes for like Sheffield City and even Sheffield Hallam University. Events will be for like every single week, so you don't have to care about like whatever's happening. You just have to like keep updated with the email. You don't
Right.
actually need, sometimes you don't need like friends for every single thing, because maybe you are like very interested for the events and your friends might be not. So you just have to register, free register for the event, and you just have to go for the event and just enjoy.
And make new
You'll get new
friends.
friends, interact with like new 5 people every day, and it will go the best way.
Yeah, make new friends. Makes sense. Makes sense. So
Yeah.
the whole, it's really great that they're not limited to just to the boundaries of the building, of course. And you mentioned that you visit from building to building, so I do get your inside joke that you go there to understand the design and the whole architect also. Now if I talk about
Yeah.
clubs, so what kind of clubs you have joined at the university? So there.
All right. Clubs. So first of all, I was actually, a bit shy towards this British culture to get involved into that. I told you already. So I started with like Indian gatherings and whatever the Indian groups are. So I used to be comfortable with them, to talk, to be friendly with them. So I started with like social gatherings. Then even there's a temple in the Sheffield where I used to get into the gatherings every time. So even if you are like coming from India and you are like very active in the temple, even if you are not, so you'll get the like regular updates on your email sometimes. So you have to go to the temple for that. And for social gathering, it starts with like Indian events, like you will have like sari day, you will have like tie days, Then you'll have like Indian ethnic wears day. So all, especially girls, are like very active in such kind of things. And when it comes to boys, boys are like very funky and dressed up very well. And not as compared to India, but they are like very well dressed here. So I started with that, and then it went for like events. So I started to go for like some clubs on the West Street. So they are like, West Street is full of clubs. So then I started going to some social events where there are like artists and designers, and two designers are, interacting with each other. They have some kind of very critical and very, artistic conversation where there are like very different questions. They have like tricky, conversation which can lead to something else, and which will can, give some ideas to someone who is sitting back behind the chair, who is listening keen to you. So this is how it started. So when I actually started getting interest into such events, then I started going more. If you don't have like interest, if you don't get interest into such kind of events, you'll stop going to that. So
Very
what I would recommend to every single student who is coming to Hallam is, start with going to one single event first, then interact with some people, then ask them like where they are going for the next event. Again, if you don't find anyone, then again start go for that second one. If you like any event, the events are all for the students, not for any other person. So the mails are for you. If you are getting the mail for the event is for you, not for everyone else. So go for that event. So everywhere. So for like study, again for like your own festivals, they have like British festivals. Then they have like giveaways. They have like, dancing and, open clubbing events. Then they have like many festivals. Like we last year we celebrated Holi here, the color Holi in Archways, the courtyard where I am living right now. So it was quite amazing for me to, get the Indian festivals in the British culture here, and they also enjoyed very well. So for festivals, it goes for like frequently when it comes to Indian festival, but for like events of Hallam, which are like equally participating to get the students' participation in that.
right. Even the events are so festive over there that you don't miss out on anything.
Yeah, so I actually don't miss out the mainly thing, but
Usually
sometimes
you
it's,
did.
when it comes to, yeah, when it comes to study, I have to sacrifice some things. But like I'm actually managing the next dates for my next event. So suppose I cannot go for like next week. So I'll plan for like next month, but I'll plan for like today, so that I should not disappoint. Like I'm not going right now. So it's not a sacrifice, it's just like a time management for me.
Right, right. Now you have already shared a lot of tips and tricks, and we're almost near the session of our, near the end of our session. But what is one tip, or what is that advice that you want to give to the students who are planning to study abroad?
Okay, so for students who are going abroad, for freshers who are actually graduated or who are just starting their career for like bachelor's or master's, whatever. So the first thing is, it's a very, very energetic kickstarter for their career. Even it comes to money, even if it comes to study, and every single thing like work-life balance, and like you have like social families and whatever life you want to. So for every single student who is coming and thinking to come to UK is a very good choice for you, where you have like, first thing is you have like very too much like mental peace you can get here. Then again you have like good life, good work-life balance. Then you will get a lot of money here. If you are doing like part-time job, then again you are doing full-time jobs. You have like secured full-time jobs. It's not about like you'll get something in your career always, but it's about how you are exploring the other jobs as well. If you want to drop your back career in India, so you can explore like 100 plus opportunities here. Every single university is having 200, 300 plus courses. So what I would suggest is like, don't narrow your perspective towards your own career, but like just actually open it and just see what you can actually do other than what you career you are doing right now. Second thing, what I want to tell is, when it comes to finances, because many people drop their plans to come to abroad just because of their finances and they cannot manage it. So students loans are very easy to cover. When it comes to Sheffield is like the fourth largest city in UK. If someone is like having very concern, like I'm going to some small city or something. So Sheffield is like fourth largest city, is if it comes to area, if it comes to population. And Sheffield is again the greenest city in UK. Again, Sheffield is like one of the most affordable cities in UK. And again, the most important part is Sheffield is the student city of UK. So you'll get discounts here, you'll get like all the student engagement here, you'll get every single, like every 10 seconds you'll see some Indian students here when you'll go by a walk. So you'll not feel like home, you'll not feel like, lonely here, you will feel like homely here. So you can ask your parents and they'll actually feel proud when you'll come here, when you'll study abroad, when you'll have like kind of exposure from abroad when you go back to India. So if someone wants to settle, they can settle here properly. The thing is, finances you just have to manage one time, but your career is settled for like whole life, for at least like 10 years, even not like minimum for like 10 years you are settled properly. But for some people are like settled for the whole life. So finance is just like one time thing, you have to manage it at any cost. And another thing I already told you, like UK is like very good choice as compared to like studying in the own place, because I actually studied in like uh like my own city again, like bachelor's and whatever I did. But I actually regret the decision. What if I could have come here in the bachelor, and what could I have done after that?
Right.
So this is what I want to tell them, like finances and like career choice you should actually have, you should actually give the priority, because next 30-40 years you'll actually plan according to what you are learning right now. So just give importance to them and manage your finances properly. Anyway you will cover the money here. Even I don't know about the other cities in the UK itself. I know London is not easy to manage the finances, but when it's come to Sheffield, it's like very easy. I'm earning near about £1,000 a month by doing just 8 days of job. My expenses is around like, I would say 400-450 pounds a month. So remaining it goes to my loan process, my EMIs, my family, my enjoyment and everything. So 400 pound, 450 pound is like including everything. I can go to party, I can go to clubbing with my friends, I can go for like other cities to travel. So your dreams just start after your loan process. If you have completed your loan process, your finances, your dream is just started. So don't get panic when you are coming to abroad countries. So just feel normal and just feel energetic. Don't drop your hopes before coming to UK. So I was also one of them who dropped hopes like many times, but like I never gave up at that time, and which is I don't regret now. So this is my advice to all the aspirant students who want to come to UK.
Sorry. So yeah, so don't narrow down your perspective, and finances should not be the hurdles in your dreams coming true, because you can still cover the finance part, but you once it's a career choice that you're making. Whatever choice you're making, it's gonna be a full lifelong. Great. Now
Yes,
you
yes.
are living at Unite Housing, I believe. So what is this? What are the amenities available at the property, and what is all covered in your accommodation?
Yeah, so when it came to accommodation, because I was coming to student loan, which was like first time, and it was like very big amount for me. So to manage the finances, it was very necessary for me, and I was like very kind of pro in managing finances back in India. So I started looking for like actual amenities plus budget friendly accommodation. So I started with university living itself. So university living gave me like a lot of offers when I compared to other websites. Plus I got extra cashback when I booked through it. So when I booked through it, so I booked like non-ensuite room, which is like if you are like managing finances very properly. So you have like budget friendly accommodation. If you need, go for like non-ensuite rooms. But even if you go for like ensuite rooms, so ensuite rooms are also like cheaper than some other accommodation in the whole Sheffield city. I live in proper S1 area, which is like most prime in front of train station, which is like the center of the city. So, which is again like the most affordable, because I actually continued my next accommodation, next year accommodation here itself. So, this is how I'm going. Amenity, when it comes to amenities, so for a single flat, even if you are booking like non-ensuite rooms, which is like the cheapest ones, so you'll get all amenities, like you have like personal room for for one person, you'll get the one room. Then you have like kitchen, which is like shared kitchen, in which you can have like microwave, you can have extra refrigerator, you can have vacuum cleaners, you can have toaster, you can have like burners, and every single thing you will get which you need for the kitchen stuffs. Then again, when it comes to toilets are like full-fledged toilets. You can have like shower area, wash basin area, like WC in like whole in one cubicle. So which is like very comfortable for me. So if you are like preparing yourself completely, so you just go by waking up and you can completely, you get out of that completely dressed. So this is how I'm managing my all the stuff day to day, right? When it comes to like amenities, common amenities for my accommodation, so common amenities are like we have like pool area, we have like common rooms which we have like TV area, gaming area. Then we have like small study room where someone wants to study, they can privately study there. They don't have any kind of disturbance. It's like soundless room. Then again we have like social gathering, which I already told you. We have like celebrated holy festival here. Then we have like outside we have like sitting areas where all like new people interact with each other. So like if someone is sitting beside me, I cannot resist myself to talk to them directly, even if like I don't mind whoever it is and whoever like wherever they are coming from. And for again like they have like building to building conversation we have, like because we have like friends living. So suppose my colleague is living in G block, I'm living in H block, so we have like proper kind of conversation. So let's hang out, let's go somewhere, let's go to Lidmill bar, let's go to like another building, another friend's flat. So this is how we interact in like whole. So it's not kind of kind of student accommodation, it's kind of like society where people live, people interact with each other, they celebrate something, they get together, and they involve in some kind of activities every time. Like every month we have something, and every 2 months we have like kind of free giveaways, freebies we get from reception. We get like some sweets, some daily food we can get. We have like some snacks or something at like in the evening time, sometimes in the morning time. So for like amenities, there are like a lot of amenities which I actually like imagine more than that. So the only part like what I miss here is like they should have like proper more gathering events, because like I don't know, like I'm actually like active in the social gathering, that's why I actually craving for that.
Yeah, you are
So
getting
but actually
more kind of party person actually.
yeah, well, like I was not actually party person back in my city,
Yeah,
but it's
I
like
was
I
about to
actually
ask
need
this. Your parents and your family gonna
yeah.
ask us where is that old Abhijeet who used to be very quiet and nerdy, and now who is
like
this Abhijeet who's only always asking for where's the party, where's the gathering happening, where's the conversation happening? Yeah, so I
like for me it's like just opening the window and what's happening, okay, let's go outside. As easy as that.
that's
For
a
like
good
that's
thing.
easy for me. You actually have like outside area for as your window view, so you can actually enjoy like outside views. Like you are like observe like how people go throughout the day, how they are
So you
managing
don't
their
even
hectic schedule. You are like
yeah, so you
very
don't
happy
even
to
do
see if someone is like managing their hectic schedule throughout the day. I like very enjoying schedule for whole day.
so you don't
And
even
for like
need to check
inside
your
windows
email.
we actually see, yeah, for inside window you actually see like, okay, someone is sitting there, okay, let's go, okay, hi brother, how are you, where are you sitting right now, okay, let's come to and let's go somewhere.
Yeah, now I'm getting the vibes. Yeah, so you have completely changed. It's 360, turn, and a good turn, I'll say. So yeah, it does make
Yeah, some kind of I turn, but like I have some like responsibilities, so that's why I'm like actually aware of that. I should not forget those responsibilities. But yeah, this is like part of my, I should like
but this
remove my
this
stress
makes you more
somewhere at least.
lively. So this is definitely that does work, right?
Yeah, kind of bachelor life I'm enjoying.
Okay, we didn't realize we had such an interesting conversation. We're almost
Yeah.
almost done with our show. But one last question, which we have actually covered a little bit again, is the cost of living in Sheffield and how do you manage your finances? You have given the numbers initially in the previous answer, but just if you can revise the numbers for the viewers.
All right. So when it comes to finances, I'll tell you, if you go to London or somewhere, so like very big city, like one or two big cities, so you cannot manage even after doing part-time jobs, you cannot manage your expenses properly. Doesn't matter you have student loan or not, but you'll actually not cover the monthly expenses even after doing part-time jobs. Just in London, I'm just talking about London. When it comes to like other cities like Leeds or like even like Sheffield is like one of the most affordable and like big city in UK. So for my expenses, I'm doing part-time job here like 2 days a week, like 20 hours a week. So out of which I earn near about 248 pounds, which is like, let's consider 250 pounds. So 250 pounds is just like rupees 25,000 for 1 week for doing just 2 days job. And so monthly it will go for like 1 lakh rupees, which is like 1,000 pounds. So my accommodation costs like near about 265 pounds a month, which is non-insured. So 265, and then I have like hardly 100 pounds for like grocery. So again, I have like vegetarian grocery. So you can again consider like 120 pounds if you have like non-veg grocery if you want to eat. So it will go for like 370 pounds near about for like 1 month. But again, I'm considering like 400 pounds a month. Even if it goes for like 450, I have like 550 pounds left in my pocket directly into my account. So easily anyone can manage expenses in Sheffield. Now I'm living in ensuite room just because I wanted like 6 months. I just wanted to explore for, like I need like ensuite rooms now. And now, I'm like earning, I have responsibility. I don't want to, get involved in any kind of some common things. So now I'm paying near about like, I guess 300 per month. So 305 per month, near about per month. So out of which after that I am paying around like 150 pounds, like again including everything. So again it will go from like 400 to 450, even if I am living in ensuite room. So again I have like 500 pounds near about left in my pocket to cover my all the other expenses, even if it comes to loan, even if it comes to like, when sometimes your family can ask you for money, sometimes your, a younger brother can ask you for like pocket money and some shopping. Then again, your parents can ask you for like, we want to go for outing, we need some money. So you can manage like every single thing, as compared to like Indian expenses for just for like freshers. If you want like kickstart a career, so you can manage like very easily money in like Sheffield. And again, you have like student discounts everywhere. You can get like up to 25%, 30% student discount. Every store you go, every restaurants you go, just show them your student ID and they'll give you like direct discount, like 10%, 20%, 15%.
Right.
So managing expenses is quite easy. Like there's no such part of it. Like you don't have to travel that much as well. Student card, you can travel just for like £1. Just show them your student card. Travel to any part, any corner of the city in just £1. For coming back, just give them £1. If you don't have student card, it will go for like 3, 4 pounds, £5 for like end of the city. So, but for like student card, it's just £1. And so students are actually getting like, unfair advantage as compared to other citizens who are actually living here since years.
I understand you are starting to get this feeling because after 4 months you will not be able to utilize the student card. So
Yeah. So like I'll again, like I have student card till like May, because even after like ending your career, again you have like 4 months left for your student BRP. So your student card is still valid till now, till that time. So again, I have like 8 months left, but still I'll try to manage get the best out of it, rather than, traveling on like as a citizen here. It's best to travel as a student here. Like even if it goes to other city, it's very good, very cheap to travel in the whole city itself. And like there are like a lot of green places you have to travel every single day.
Student card does provide a lot of discounts. In fact, in one of the compulsory event also, there was a lot of question around the discounts that a student get, all these Black Friday sales and everything, big billion sales and all. So now,
but like I actually buy like electronic devices, clothings, and some kind of, if you want to like actually want to buy something which is like student discount. So there are like two apps which is called Uni Days and Student Wins. So these two apps where you can get actually student benefits. You just have to enter your student ID number, and you're qualified for every single brand, including like Adidas, Nike, Apple, Samsung, and any kind of brand you can get there. So every single brand contains student discount, which any other person is not getting. Only students are getting.
Right. So to sum it up, in Sheffield, the cost of living would be around 450 to 500 pounds at max when you are living a full-fledged lavish life and everything, right? And you still save if you are earning a little more, right?
Yeah. So even if you want to, the accommodation will start from like, again, the expenses went quite higher. The rents are actually increased for like around 5% to 10% from last year. Again, our salaries actually increased, so it doesn't matter even if our expenses increased. So it will start near about for like, I'm just talking about accommodation, full-fledged accommodation, including bills and everything. You don't have to pay a single pound after that. It will actually start from like 280, 290 pounds in Sheffield. And it can go up to like, even if you want to live in studio, it will go for like 550 pound a month. For like, so roughly it's like 300 to 550 pound. You can get any kind of lifestyle, whatever you want to per month in this kind of accommodation. Grocery will go for like 100, 150. After 150, you can't even eat that much of food in every month.
Right. And in fact, you will not be eating a lot of food inside the house. You'll be going out for the gatherings. So
even if you're foodie, take the student advantage, student cards anywhere in the restaurants and get the student discount. After 4 p.m., you can get a lot of offers in like, Subway, McD. They have like foot long braids for like discounted price. They have like burgers and discounted price. So again, you cannot spend more than like 150 pound and hardly 200 pounds.
Great, Abhijeet. It was a wonderful having conversation with you, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of information that the students gonna take it from here, this video. So, what my take is from the whole conversation that we had is that you should not limit your dreams because of the finances. So, on this note, we'll be closing our session. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you find it useful. Looking forward to seeing you guys next Friday, 5 p.m. Stay tuned to our social media handles for more information. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Abhijeet, for joining us today.
Thank